What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. I've got something very different here that I want to do today. I want to talk about why it is important that the writer and the artist of a comic book be on the same page when they are collaborating together. I have here the trade paperback for Death of Wolverine, the Weapon X program. This is a 5-issue miniseries, and specifically, I want to talk about some of the problems that I had with the first issue, written by Charles Soule and illustrated by Salvador Larroca. Okay, so I've got these little bookmarks here to kind of help me get through here. So right off the bat, we have our main character, Sharp. He meets these other two guys. They're all experiments in the Weapon X program, and Sharp says, "Get him down, out of the smoke. The air's clearer near the ground." Smoke? The air's fine. I don't smell nothing. Now, as you can see, there is plenty of smoke all on the ground, not only in this panel, but in these two panels up here also. I don't know if Salvador Larroca just didn't read the script, or if he decided it would look cooler this way, but if you're going to put smoke in here, first of all, one of your main characters shouldn't be denying that there is even smoke in the room, and second of all, it shouldn't be on the ground where your other character says that the air is clearer. Now, just a couple of pages later, you have this other guy who says that the fire is below us, on lower floors. We have to get to the roof. Now, technically, smoke does rise, so it makes sense that the air would be a little clearer on the ground. But if the fire is coming from beneath you, then you don't need to get on the ground. The smoke would be continuously rising. If the fire comes from one of the lower floors, there would be smoke all throughout the room. It wouldn't just be in the ceiling, and the air would not be clearer near the ground if there's multiple floors and the fire is going on a couple of floors beneath you. And then, following this, you've got Sharp. He goes to attack this zombie-looking dude, and then the zombie-looking dude realizes he snuck up on him. He's covered in blood, you idiot. I'm just going to let you guys look at that. He is not covered in blood. There's not a single drop of blood on him. And if you're thinking, well, maybe this is like a PG-13 kind of thing. They can't put any blood. There's some green blood. And then got some more blood right there. And once again, Sharp does not have a drop on him. Now, maybe they weren't allowed to put red blood on him. Maybe that would have made this a little too violent. I'm not sure. But then I think the script should have been changed. I have no idea if this was the air quotes Marvel method that they used to do back in the 60s. Maybe Charles Soule came up with a broad plot, and then Salvador Larroca started drawing pages, and then he came up with the script. If that's the case, it's really bizarre to me that you have so many inconsistencies like this. What I think probably happened was Charles Soule wrote a script, and then Salvador Larroca just didn't read it very carefully, and so you have a lot of really bizarre instances where the art does not match the script. In that case, I think that Soule should have looked at the art after it was finished and then changed the words. He should have said, okay, this smoke scene does not make any sense the way I envisioned it in my mind and the way it actually plays out on page, so I need to change these words a little bit. The writing is not done as soon as you hand it off to the artist. You need to look at the pages and say, okay, these words do not really match the art that's on the page. We need to change this a little bit so that it is a unified product. As is, this comic, at least this issue of this miniseries, feels like two separate stories that are fighting against each other. The story of the writing and the story of the art. And that is a problem. This is one of the worst instances of this I've ever seen. I have read, I cannot even tell you how many comics, and this took me out of the issue more than I have seen it happen in any other comic book before. It's not the only comic where this has happened, but this is the biggest instance of that happening, I feel like. So anyway, this was a little different than what you're used to. I hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, I'll see you with other videos later in the week. Have a good one.